Hello and welcome to the Inner Game of Entrepreneurship podcast. I'm your host, Sarah. If you're new around here, I am a scaling strategist here to help you grow your heart-centered business to 7 figures without burning out your body or selling out your values. So today we're going to talk about next level goals and how sometimes there are next level goals that you want. You have a vision of the future that you're striving for. And that might be a scaled business where you are making a huge impact and you have customers all over the world and you're generating $1 million in annual revenue. You have a team. You have dream clients paying you well for your work. You're making this massive impact, new people discovering you every day, sales coming in on autopilot. You can see it so clearly. You know exactly what you want, but it's seeming like no matter what strategies you're trying in your business, you're not getting there. And what I want to propose to you today, this may be true for you, just try it on, is that sometimes what is secretly sabotaging us from reaching our goals is that we're trying to wait until we have the new thing before we let go of the old thing. I call this Tarzaning, right? I pictured Tarzan like swinging through the jungle on the vines. The swinging only works because there's a moment of free fall. There's a moment where he lets go of one vine before he's grabbed the next, and he's just suspended in the air and he grabs onto that next vine, and the force of that grab swings him to the next one and he lets go and grabs the next one. But then I want you to imagine you're trying to swing from vine to vine and you swing forward and you grab the vine, but you won't let go of the old one. So instead of swinging forward, you're just hanging there, stuck between where you were and where you want to go, not getting anywhere. And what this looks like in our business can seem strategic, can seem like being smart, like playing it safe, like honoring where you're at, like being protective of your revenue and your income because you have to pay your bills. But when we're keeping our safety nets active, we can prevent ourselves from being able to move forward. And those safety nets can look like keeping the old offer, keeping the lower ticket clients, keeping the old way of doing things just in case. And that just in case is why you can't move forward. Frequently, we cannot build the new thing, but we're still maintaining the old thing because that old thing is taking up your time, your energy, and your capacity, right? That's on a practical level. On an energetic level, on a spiritual level, we are not indicating to the universe, to God, that we're available for something new to come in because we're filling that space. I think about if you've ever read the book Calling in the One, or you've ever looked at love manifestation advice. It tells you to do things like if you have 2 bedside tables, but they're both full of your stuff, and what you really want is someone who lives with you, then you clear out the bedside table. If all the closets are full of your stuff, that before you have the partner, you clear out a closet, that you start making space for the thing you want, that you energetically signal, there's room in my life. Sometimes we have to show that we've created space. And I know this can be hard. If you've been around, you've heard me talk about the fact that last year I closed down a program that made me several $1,000s a month in recurring revenue that was very easy for me to keep running. It was built. It had clients in it. It had systems. My team knew how to operate it. Everything about it was functional, but it just was not aligned with where I was headed in my business. And I had no idea what was going to take its place. I had no idea how I was going to replace that revenue. I had no idea what offer I wanted to offer instead, but I knew that the inspiration for the new thing would not reveal itself to me while I was still running that offer. And I had to do the very scary thing and let go of the vine. I had to sunset that program with clients in it. I had to reach out to people and say, I'm closing this down. This is the last day you're going to have access. Here's what's changing. Here's what's available for you to move into. And this might be where we part company. And I had to do a lot of work around letting people down and my fear of not having another idea of what was going to come next in order to do that in the face of not knowing what I was going to fill that space with. Because I knew I could not build the new thing while maintaining the old thing. I couldn't do it in terms of my time, my energy, my team's time and energy, but I also knew that on a spiritual level, it would not work that way. So maybe this looks like an offer you know you don't want to do anymore, but you keep running it just in case that new offer that you're more excited about doesn't fill. Or there's a new client avatar you want to attract. You're ready to pivot who you serve. But in your marketing, you keep speaking to the old client avatar because it's who's current in your audience. And you know that your old message is what those people are used to hearing from you. And you're telling yourself, well, if I start talking to new people, then I'm going to lose followers. I'm going to lose engagement. I'm going to lose sales. I'm going to let these people down. So I can't start speaking to the new avatar because when I open my social media, when I open my email list, I know that the people who are there are that old avatar. Maybe it's a client who's paying you at your old rate and that client is draining your energy. You're scared to let them go because what if you can't relate to that revenue? It could be a delivery model where you're doing everything hands-on by yourself in your business because you're afraid if you systematize things or if you delegate that the quality will drop and that people won't get the same results. Maybe it's about niching and you have 5 different offers for 5 different client avatars because you feel like focusing entirely on what you really want to talk about is too risky. So the cost of maintaining the old thing is that you literally cannot build the new thing. The old offer is taking up launch energy. It is taking up launch space on your sales calendar. It's taking up delivery time that could be going to your new offer. It could be confusing your audience because maybe that old offer isn't aligned with what the new offer is about or who the new offer is for. And they're looking at it and they're going, oh, well, I thought this person did this kind of work, but this offer is for this other kind of thing and I don't need that. So they're just moving on. That draining client that you're spending time working with is taking up a spot on your roster that a dream client could fill. That new client avatar that you want to pivot towards serving cannot find you because you keep talking to the old avatar. And that new person, they're scrolling on social media. They're looking for someone who does the work that you want to do, but they're scrolling right past you because they don't think you're for them because you're not talking to them. That hands-on operating model is what keeps you working 60 hours a week and you can't separate yourself from your business and you can't step down and you can't take vacation. The scattered approach and the refusal to narrow down your offer focus is why you can't become the go-to person in your industry for the one thing that really lights you up. And you're telling yourself you're being strategic, you're being safe, you're being protective, you're keeping your options open. But what if you're actually blocking your own growth? Now, the good news here for the entrepreneur who isn't shy about inner work, which I know if you're here listening to this show that you're not shy about inner work, is that the thing you won't release is a blueprint that is showing you exactly who you're being and exactly what you don't believe about yourself yet. You won't fire that draining client because you don't trust that better clients will come. You sunset that old offer because you don't believe that you can make the same money doing the work you really want to do. You won't change your delivery model or operations because you don't trust that anybody can do as good a job as you or that your clients will get results without you being so hands-on. Whatever it is that you're holding on to is revealing what you truly currently believe is possible for you and what you don't. The thing that you're clutching onto so hard, that old mind, is showing you exactly what you don't trust yourself to handle without it. If this is resonating, then it's time to be honest. Being honest is where change becomes possible. If this is what's happening for you, then you know it's not about the client. It's not about the offer. It's not about the delivery model. It's about what you're making those things mean about you. The client represents proof that money is coming. That offer represents security and stability that you don't believe is possible without it. That delivery model represents your worth, right? Your sense of self-worth. I'm good because I give so much. I'm good because I work so hard. Keeping your options open represents being available to help anyone with anything and never having to leave anyone out. Let go isn't about strategy. Because if it was, you would just design the new offer, launch it, and be in motion. You would just sunset the old program and be in motion. If you're not doing it, then ask yourself what is really required. And it's what's really required, becoming someone who doesn't need the safety net anymore. Someone who doesn't need that vine. What makes Tarzan able to swing like that through the trees is tremendous self-trust in his body. Tremendous self-trust that the next vine will always be there. And that even if he falls, he's going to be all right because he's fallen before and he got right back up to swinging. He trusts his grip. He trusts his strength. He trusts gravity. He trusts momentum. So he knows he can let go. He can have that brief, exhilarating moment of free fall without disaster. You can't become the person who doesn't need the safety net anymore when you're still operating from your old identity. That means that letting go may be an identity level problem. Who you're being, your identity, shapes your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your thoughts. Your thoughts shape your actions. And your actions shape your results. And if you've been around maybe a few episodes back, talked about changing the identity level instead of the behavioral level. So often we try to change just the behavioral level, but we're not doing it, right? Okay, I know I need to sunset this program. Well, what's involved? I just need to sit down and set some dates and write some emails, but I'm just not doing it. And I don't know why. Well, let's look at it. Is it because there's something in us that goes, I'm not ready. I'm scared to do that. I already know what needs to change, what I need to let go of, what I need to shift in order for me to be who I want to be and go where I'm trying to go. But I'm resisting letting go because the old version of me needed that thing to feel safe, to feel valuable, to feel worthy. So in order to release it, one of the fastest ways to shift is to work on the identity level, to embody the person who doesn't need that safety net. Someone who trusts that better clients are always coming means it's not stressful to let go of a draining one. There's no question. I always trust that better clients are coming. So the second that somebody is doing too much, I'm like, you gotta go. I don't have clients like that around here. That's not who I am. That's not what my business is like. If you're someone who believes in the value of your work, then you can sunset a low ticket offer. You can raise your prices because you're like, hey, my work gets these results. My clients get these types of results. My work is incredibly valuable to the people who take it on. And so I don't need to pander my work at the lowest prices for security. There's going to be people out there who understand the value of what I do. I know that. I trust it. Someone who trusts their methodology, that means you can sell IP and not just your time. I trust not just my ability to physically labor to trade time for money, but I trust that the methodology I've created is so strong that the methodology can work without me. And that means I can make a scalable product out of my intellectual property. Someone who trusts their leadership, trusts that they can delegate to their team and step away from work and everything's going to be fine. They don't doubt it. They're not checking their Slack from bed at 2:00 in the morning. They're not redoing their team's work. They're not telling themselves no one's going to be able to do as good a job as I can, so I'm not going to hire anybody. It would never occur to them because they trust their leadership. They trust their ability to delegate. They trust their ability to manage this problem. This is an identity level shift. So if you're resonating and you're like, okay, well, what do I do about this? I can see myself in it. So what do I do about it? I want to give you a coaching tool that you can use right now. You're just going to take a piece of paper and split it down the middle, lengthwise, hot dog, not hamburger. On the left side, you're going to write down the thoughts you're currently having about the thing you don't want to let go of. The real thoughts. No one's going to read this. You don't have to share it with anybody. So you could write, I can't let go of this client because what if I can't replace that revenue? Or I need to keep running this offer until the new proves itself and is full of clients. I have to stay available to everyone because what if I miss an opportunity? And then on the right side, write down what the new identity, the version of you who's already at your goal, the version of you who's already living in the vision of what you want. What would that person think? Not what you think you should think, but what would somebody who's already there genuinely believe? Someone who believes that their clients are always coming, the person who trusts their value, who knows that they're the go-to expert, who's booked out solid. What would that person think? Write that down in the right column. And the gap between these two columns is going to show you exactly where the identity work needs to happen. And then every time you catch yourself thinking old thought, you have a choice. Do I operate from that identity? Do I believe this thought is true and act like it's true? Or do I practice operating from the new identity, operating from the new thought? And if this is the kind of thing that you know you need support with, or you can't see exactly where it is that you're blocked, this is the kind of work I do with my clients every day. And you are always welcome to shoot me an email, intuitiveedgecoaching@gmail.com. You can DM me on Instagram at intuitiveedgecoaching. You can go straight to my website, intuitiveedgecoaching.com, and apply to work with me or apply to join my mastermind, and I will help you. I hope that this episode is valuable for you today. I'm experimenting with trying to be quicker about these. Y'all know I like to talk. So let me know if you liked this episode. Please leave a review, leave 5 stars, leave a comment, shoot me a message, and let me know if it was helpful for you. Okay, I love you. Bye.
That's our episode for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. I know there are so many things that you could be doing with your day, so many things you could be listening to, and it means so much that you are here in this community. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment, share it on social media, and tag me at Intuitive Edge Coaching. Share it with a biz bestie who you think needs to hear it and will appreciate it. And take a moment to to subscribe, and to leave a 5-star review wherever you are listening. It helps me grow this show, and it helps us grow and sustain this brilliant community of entrepreneurs dedicated to doing the inner work. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, love you. Bye.